Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 362. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today we're going to be speaking with Mr. Arlen Robinson, the co-founder of OmniStar Affiliate Software. Now, if you've listened to the show for any period of time, you know I'm a big proponent of e-commerce. Now, one of the things that a lot of successful e-commerce business owners do is they leverage affiliate marketing. And we're going to talk to Arlen today about all things affiliate marketing and also how does it feel to be one of the few blacks in the tech space that has a software as a service business. Now, before we get to today's show, I just want to share a few things with the BEB family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all of my social media contact information and my resource links, such as the link to my new book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. Two platforms I've created to help circulate those dollars in the worldwide black economy, BeSmartByBlack.com and HireBlackFreelancers.com, and also the new rebranded, rebooted Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Academy, which you can have 5 days free access. Just go to BEBacademy.com and you can take all of the online courses, trainings, and workshops for free for 5 days. Now, let's get ready to speak to Mr. Arlen Robinson, co-founder of OmniStar Affiliate Software. We are live with Mr. Arlen Robinson, the co-founder of OmniStar Affiliate Software. Arlen, how are you this morning, brother?
I'm doing awesome, Jay. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Most definitely, man. You know, one of the things that I talk about on the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint podcast a lot of time is the tech space. And so we want to get into a little bit about how is it being an African-American in the tech space. But before we do that, tell the BEB family a little bit more about Arlen Robinson, where you're from, and basically how you got here. And then we're going to get into your entrepreneurial journey.
And thank you. I appreciate it. It has been quite a journey. For people that don't know me, I am the co-founder of OmniStar Affiliate Software, also known as OSI Affiliate Software. Been in the business for we're going on 21 years now, believe it or not. And you know, to give a quick backstory on my background and who I am, I'm originally from a suburb right outside of Chicago called Evanston, Illinois. It's a northern suburb right north of Chicago, directly north of Chicago, actually, and grew up there. And you know, I went to school in DC, went to Howard University, actually, and interesting story with that because my business partner right now also went to Howard University, and he is also from Evanston, Illinois. But the ironic thing about it is we were not friends in high school. We grew up in the same town, same city, but we weren't friends. We did know of each other, of course. He's African-American as well, African-American brother. And then basically what happened is we probably had friends of friends. So I had some friends that knew him and, you know, vice versa. And so we went to Howard. You know, I remember in the orientation and all of that, I said, hey, I recognize this brother. He's from, you know, my town. He went to my high school. So, you know, we had that in common, and, you know, the rest is history. We became really good friends in college. We both were in the computer engineering school. We were in the engineering school, majoring in computer science systems engineering. And so became really good friends. And then while we were in school, we both, this was, of course, I'm dating myself. This was the mid 90s. And so as you could imagine, the internet was really just getting started. It was just taking shape. And, we had an entrepreneurial spirit. Both of us really did. And we kind of kicked around, some ideas of, about launching a business and, doing something out of college. And so we both worked for different consulting firms in the DC area, in the Virginia area, actually. One of the things that really kind of motivated me, because the listeners are probably asking, all those opportunities in the tech space, why would you just immediately think about launching your own business? Well, it goes back to an interesting story when I was growing up. When I was growing up, my parents actually had an opportunity to invest in a Burger King franchise. Actually, some good friends of theirs, this was in the Chicago area, and some good friends of theirs had an opportunity to purchase a franchise of one Burger King restaurant, and they wanted my parents to go in with them. So they were going to pool their money, go in with them, split everything, run the business. They debated about it. They really considered doing it, but it was at a time, my dad is an English professor. He's retired right now. And my mother is a social worker, also retired. She was in social work. So, they didn't have a business background, and they knew doing something like that would be pretty risky because I have an older brother, they had responsibilities, they owned a house. And so they were cautious. They didn't want to take the risk. They said, at this time, you're just not right for us. We'll just let our friends go ahead and move forward with the business. And they did. They just stepped away from the deal, and their friends moved forward with it. Their friends, definitely went on to be very successful. So my parents, when they think back about it, they kind of kick themselves because their friends went on and bought a few Burger King franchises and went off to be very successful. I think at this point they've sold them. They went off to retire, and they're very wealthy at this point. Right. But my parents always kick themselves. But when they think back, they knew it wasn't right for them. And so when I have the opportunity to start my business with my business partner, his name is Tyreek Jeter, and I thought back about that story, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm straight out of college. I don't have any responsibilities, really any major responsibilities other than taking care of myself. I had to pay back some student loans. That's about it. I didn't have a family, no kids, anything like that. So I said, wait a minute, this is an opportunity for us to really kind of seize an opportunity because the internet was really budding. And I said, we want to really take shape of this. Why don't we just go ahead and go all in, and go forward with it. Worst case is, we fail. We still got a degree. We could go back to school. There's plenty of companies that would hire us again. So we said, why not? So we put the ideas together, and we decided to launch an internet development firm where we were developing websites, custom web-based applications. And we started, like I said, we were still working for those different companies during the day, but we were doing this on the side. And then finally, we got an opportunity to go full time with it because we got a contract that was sizable enough for at least me to go full time first. And then several months after that, my business partner joined me. And really the rest is history. And then that's kind of how we got going. And then, kind of fast forward to today, what we did is we did the website development, custom web-based application development for several years. And then what we saw was there was a need from a lot of businesses to have core functionality to their websites, such as live chat. They wanted to be able to sell products online. And just remember, this is the early days of the internet. It was, these things had to be customized. And so we said, wait a minute, why don't we just create a whole suite of tools for businesses that, people can sign up for and pay monthly fee for and go forward with it. So we had about 6 web-based solutions at the time, including our affiliate software. And so we did that for several years. We took a step back from the custom web development and did that. And then, we got a few years into doing that. We saw that it just made sense to focus on one solution. And then we discontinued all of our other solutions and went forward with the affiliate software, which, like I said, today is known as OSI affiliate software. And the rest is history. So that's, a long story kind of made short, but that's how I got to where I am today.
How long did you guys work in corporate before you took that transition?
It was just
So
2 years, just
2 years.
about 2 years. Yeah. And it was
Okay.
interesting also because I was with a consulting firm.
Mhm.
And, with consulting firms, they put you on projects. And so
Mhm.
that project came to an end. And so it came to the point, like it was 2 years me working for the company. I had some other projects prior to that. I
Mhm.
remember my line manager came to me and said, he was looking for something for me to do next. And
Mhm.
then I was toying around with, you know, going forward with the business full time. And
Right.
so it's interesting. He called me and I said, yeah, I think I'm going to turn in my resignation. I told him, yeah, I got been working on something on the side or I'll move forward.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, he was actually happy. He's like, he was like, he said, yeah, good for you. He was like, well, that's one less thing for me to find for you. I don't have to find the next project for you. He was kind of joking, but I think he was kind of serious in a
Yeah.
way. And yeah, so it was
No.
about 2 years. I went forward, and then Tyreek joined me a couple months after he left his consulting job after me.
All right. So it's funny because you talked about you guys were working in corporate America. You made the transition, and one of the things you had mentioned on the outset was that you had a contract that allowed you to step out
Yes.
with that. And so, what was that initial contract? That was one. That was the I guess the first stone or the first step into your own business.
Yes.
What type of contract was that, if you don't mind me asking? What were you
Yeah,
doing?
no problem. Yeah, interesting story again with that one. We were hustling when we were, launched the business. We were just trying to get business,
Right.
to be able to pull away from our consulting jobs. And, we were excited. We were motivated. We saw that the internet was going to be huge. I mean,
Right.
we saw the direction everything was going. We knew every business needed a website. So,
Mhm.
we tried to reach out to our network. I went to a ton of networking events, evenings, morning things, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Reached out to our network. And so one thing that we did is me and my business partner were members of a local Baptist church in DC.
Okay.
And we said one Sunday, we were like, all right, why don't we just go ahead and put some flyers on the cars in the parking lot for web development services and just, see where that goes,
Right.
because we knew that the congregation were, some fairly, established professional people. So we said, you never know. So we
Right.
did that, and it led to the first contract. A young brother actually called me, and he actually was working for AOL at the time.
Mhm.
For people who don't know, that was kind of one of the first internet providers,
Yeah.
and he was working for AOL at the time. But he was on the side trying to build his own kind of thing, where he was more acting as a project manager, tech lead of different projects, and so he was working with different businesses to try to form relationships, get projects going. And so he happened to have a deal he was working with a company that was actually creating the kind of like a early version of what is now YouTube.
Oh,
Basically,
wow.
it was the different version. It was a totally different company, but
Right.
basically they were trying to put uh, video and TV online on the web. And
Gotcha.
so, yeah, he gave us the opportunity. We pitched it. It was a big enough deal for me to leave, and that was it. And so we ran with that. It was several phases of that contract actually, and then like
Right.
I said, since it was sizable enough, I was able to go full time, and then Tariq joined me shortly after.
If you don't mind me asking, I know this was back in the 90s. What was the overall contract value?
Good question. For both aspects of it, we were pushing at least 50K at
Okay.
least.
Cool.
Yeah, at least 50K, which,
Yeah.
like I said, was definitely good enough to,
Yeah.
sustain us, get the work done, allow
Especially
me
back
to,
then.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was,
50K went along a lot further
it did.
than it
Yeah,
does now. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
definitely did. So it was
Nah,
a
that's
pretty good
cool.
deal. Yeah.
So that probably answers my next question. My next question was, how did you finance the business? But I'm pretty sure that's kind of the transition that allowed you to move from employee to entrepreneur. So
Right.
that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's good. And I want the light bulb to go off with the BEB family real quick. And just take note what Arlen and his partner did. So while they were working for corporate America, saving money, I'm sure, taking care of their expenses, they started their business while they had a job. And I always tell people the easiest transition is being able to start while you have a job. So you don't have to rush and try to monetize right away when you start your business. Many times when we have that issue or that problem, we don't run the business how it really should be run because we're so focused on, man, I got to earn a buck, that you may jump over steps that you really need to take to build a solid type of business. So I want the light bulb to go off for the BEB family about how that transition took place, man. I wanted you to talk real quick and give me a little background on OSI affiliates. And just for people that aren't familiar with affiliate marketing, if you can just give us a little background on that and how OSI helps you build an affiliate program.
Sure, no problem. And that was great advice actually to your listeners, because I deal with a lot of entrepreneurs all the time, and people are looking to launch things, and a lot of times they're like, all right, I got to leave my day job, and a lot of people kind of jump into it. They don't have anything really to fall back on. There's nothing wrong with doing that, taking that leap of faith and then jumping forward, but there's nothing these days, there's nothing to say that you can get things going while you already have an income. And
Right.
then when you have enough to sustain yourself, jump in there. It definitely makes the transition a lot easier than to just jump out there in the deep end. And then, it can be done. I'm not saying it can't be done.
Yeah.
Many people do it, but you don't have to go that way, especially if you have an income coming in. You can ease into it. And especially if, you have responsibilities in a family, makes more sense to go that route.
Definitely.
But to answer your question, OSI affiliate software is a tool that really allows any business to, leverage word of mouth marketing quite simply. And what I'll do is I'll kind of define it because with our software, you can create not only an affiliate program, but a referral program. And they're actually two distinct things. And I know a lot of times people use affiliate program and referral program interchangeably, but they're two distinct things.
Okay.
So a referral, we'll start with a referral program. A referral program is basically where you incentivize your customers to promote your business. And so you're giving them an incentive to promote, some reward, a discount on future purchases, cash reward, a gift item, whatever it is. And you're tapping into your existing customers, people that have utilized your products or services. Now, a affiliate program is different because you're tapping into outside affiliates or influencers. These are people that may have never used your product or services. They don't really know you. You don't have a direct relationship with them, but they are going to promote your business for a reward. And typically with the affiliates, their reward is usually cash. That's the most common incentive for most affiliates. It's a cash. It's either a percentage of an order total, or it's some other type of cash reward or bonus. And so that's the difference between the two. And so with our software and our technology, a business could create either of those. They could create an affiliate program or a referral program. They can create both as well, and set it up so once their program is created, our technology will allow them to get affiliates or their customers to sign up. It will generate a unique link, a unique tracking link that those customers or affiliates can actually share across social media, on their own websites, to promote the business. And our software kind of does the magic on the back end and tracks where, if those particular affiliates or those customers sent through sales, it'll track where they came from. It will calculate a commission that you as the business owner would then need to pay out to those customers or those affiliates. And quite simply, that's basically what it does. It's very powerful, and especially in this day and age. And one of the things that I always tell people is that word of mouth marketing, it's always been there, from the beginning of, when people had things that they were just trading. Word of mouth is basically how products and companies spread their word. And so it's more important than ever now, I think, because we're in such a crowded space as far as selling anything. If you're looking to sell online or you're looking to sell retail, whatever it is, people have a ton of options to buy. And so one of the things that weighs heavily nowadays, because it's such a crowded space, is the referrals from people that they know or people that they trust. And those go a long way these days. Really, the stats show, and there's a lot of stats. I think there was a stat compiled by Nielsen, and it stated that 92% of all sales come from referrals from people that they know. And I think the main reason why that's such a high percentage is because I think buyers these days experience what I call buyer fatigue. When you're
Oh
trying to
yeah,
buy something, it's a
crazy.
process. It is. You have so many options. It's tiring. But if you've got a friend that purchased a device, maybe let's say you have somebody that purchased this microphone I'm talking to you on, and you're thinking about buying a mic, but your friend purchased it. He gave it thumbs up. He said it's awesome.
Right.
No need to look for anything else. Just go ahead and buy this. That goes a long way. It just alleviates somebody having to go out there and do their own research. And so I think that's the power of word of mouth marketing and why it's so important today.
Now, with your vast experience in affiliate marketing, I wanted you to share with the BEB family what are some, in your experience, and actually you may be able to give a case study of one of the best or types of products or services that you think work with affiliate marketing. What type of price point, what type of margins, and things of that nature, just so we can give the BEB family some idea, practical application of your software, even if it's a case study, a short case study.
Oh yeah, sure, no problem. Great question. It's I would say, I never want to really limit the type of business that it can work with, because the bottom line is no matter what you're selling, you
Right,
can benefit from an affiliate or referral program for sure. But
right.
I guess to give you a couple of case studies or just some general ideas based on businesses that have been working with us, one of the things that I see a lot of is we're getting a lot of businesses using our technology that are in there's two spaces. One space is in the um, skincare and beauty product space. When
Okay.
I say skincare, a lot of niche companies that are coming up that have been using our technologies, selling, unique skin products, not only for men, women, but men as well.
Okay.
And that niche, I think, is really powerful. And we're seeing a lot of those type of companies these days using our products because those are high margin types of products. If anybody knows anything about cosmetics, it's no coincidence why, we have the what is it? Kylie Jenner,
Right.
who has the fashion line, who I guess is one of the youngest billionaires at this point, and it
Yeah.
is because of the cosmetics. It's a huge margin in the cosmetic space. We've got some
Okay.
other celebrities like the Rihannas of the world. She has a cosmetic line, and
Mhm.
at this point, I don't know if she's even going to go back to music because she's made so
Right.
much in that space. And
Mhm.
so those types of businesses have such a large profit margin. It's easy for them to implement an affiliate program, get affiliates, because they have, when you're thinking about a pie, they have a lot left in that pie after they pay, the price of the products, they pay their marketing costs, their overhead costs. There's a sizable enough chunk to pay affiliates. So that's a great space.
Mhm.
But like I said, it doesn't really matter the space that you're in. You can leverage word of mouth marketing to get your customers or your affiliates, to promote your business. It just really doesn't matter. One thing that I will state, because one of the main questions that the listeners are probably asking was like, great, I want to go ahead and launch my affiliate program,
Mhm.
but where do I begin as far as figuring out the right incentive
Right.
for those affiliates or my customers? And there's some general rule of thumbs that I can break down.
Okay. Cool.
Now, let's say a company is launching a referral program. Doesn't matter what product that you have, and you're looking to get your customers to promote your business. The basic rule of thumb with that, as far as incentivizing your customers, is if you're in a space or you're selling a product or service where you want your customers to come back frequently, or you're selling the type of product, maybe it's in the cosmetic space, maybe it's in the food space, where people go through these products pretty quickly.
Right.
You run out of the amount that you've used, you come back and you reorder. If you're in that type of space where people are frequently coming back, the best
Mhm.
type of incentive for your referral program is going to be a reward that's going to be a discount towards future purchases, because the
Gotcha.
goal with that is you're going to get these referral partners, your customers, to want to promote because they know that they're going to get a discount and come back to your store. So you're kind of keeping everything in-house. Even though you're giving them a discount,
Right.
they're coming back, they're buying more. So the rule of thumb with the amount of the discount is going to be depending on the price of your average price of your product. And so if the average price of your product is, let's say it is less than $100, you're in the smaller price points, it's customary to do, and it sounds more impressive to do a percentage discount on future purchases. Like a 15% off future purchases, 20% off whatever you can get in there for your margins. If your product is over $100, then it's customary to do a fixed amount commission for your referral program. So it could be like $20 off. Let's say your products are over $100, then a reward for your referral partner would be maybe $20 off of future purchases. And so that's something that you definitely want to follow, because you got to think about the psychology of it. You want to motivate people for doing it, and using either the percentage or the fixed amount based on your product totals is definitely the way to go. Now, people are probably thinking, okay, I'm selling a different type of product where people don't come back frequently. Let's say, maybe you're selling mattresses, for instance. Mattresses, you only buy maybe once every 5, maybe even 10 years. And so with mattress companies, if you were a mattress company, it would be a little bit different. In that case, you wouldn't want to do a discount towards future purchases. You want to just give people cash for referring others. So whether it's $100 for, referring a friend that purchases a mattress or whatever it is, you want to give them a cash incentive. And that's the best way to go for that type of company. Now, there's other companies that are out there. I know there's a lot of people like you were in the educational course space, where I know you're charging people a fee for your courses. There's a lot of companies that also charge monthly fees for online courses, or they have a subscription model. What's customary for that type of company, if you're in that space, is going to be a discount or future months, or like a free month of service. So let's say you refer someone to us, you get a free month of service, or free couple of months. And then lastly, as far as thinking about the referral incentives, which is really a key part, and this is something that's why I'm spending a lot of time on it, because it's very important that you come up with that right incentive. The last thing that you can do is do something totally out of the box that's unique. That's like a unique gift item that really could motivate people. We just came out of the holiday season. A unique gift item could be maybe, let's say, a gift basket. Maybe, let's say, a chocolate gift basket of chocolates from around the world. Who doesn't like chocolate? And so that could be something that could motivate people that, that you could offer in exchange for them referring you business. And so, the bottom line, though, that I say, regardless of the type of business that you're in or your price points, when you're thinking about the incentive, you want to think about the motivation of your customer, of your average customer. What motivates them, what excites them, and then from there decide what that incentive should be.
Those are some great points, and I wanted to touch base or talk to you real quick about you mentioned the digital products and the digital product space. So, for example, a lot of times you'll see a lot of these quote unquote gurus that do these $1 million product launches, selling a $997 product, digital product, online course or training or whatever. And I don't know if you work with any people in that type of space, but normally what is the type of a commission off of a $997 product? I know a lot of people talk about 50-50 rev share when they create like a big online course, and then they do this big rollout. Is that pretty common, of 50-50 when you're having joint venture or JV partners?
That is very common. Yeah, definitely. You kind of nailed it on that one. That's what I see a lot of times, specifically in the online course space, because, as and most online providers know, there's, it's not a lot of overhead for that. Once you create your course content, the only order, after you've done all of the logistics to getting it out there, the web development, the time it takes to create the course, your time spent, then the next thing you have is just, your marketing dollars. What are you doing to market and promote it? What are you spending to market and promote it? And so you have a pretty large margin on these online courses. And so a 50-50 split is definitely, I'd say, something that's customary. I've seen, what I usually see is like between 30 and 50%
30
usually
to
for the online
50%.
courses, like you
Gotcha.
said, that are in that price range. But,
Gotcha.
it's really up to you. You have to, and those things aren't necessarily set in stone.
Right.
It's definitely something that you could change. You can see what's motivating people. If
Right.
one doesn't work, try something else.
Now that makes a lot of sense, man. Because I see a lot of these gurus, quote unquote, out there, and they may sell $1 million launch, but really what they're generating in their own pocket after the payouts is maybe 50% of that.
Right.
In terms of OSI affiliates, you mentioned it calculates your commissions. Do you have a component where you can pay out commissions through PayPal or anything, or do you have to do that separately?
We do. Yeah, we
Okay.
definitely have a component where we're tied into PayPal, actually. And that's one of the most common ways that people pay out using our technology. We have it where when your affiliates sign up, you can request that they provide you with their PayPal ID. And
Gotcha.
that's a lot of programs these days. It's PayPal is usually the easiest way to pay out people. So you capture their PayPal ID, and within our system, when you're going through the payout process, we have a connection with PayPal where you can click to pay via PayPal, pay them out that way. We also have a built-in connection where you can do the PayPal. It's called a mass pay feature. So,
Right.
let's say you've got, 10, 20, 30, 40 affiliates you got to pay all at once. You don't want to have to go one by
Right.
one and pay them all out like that. You want to be able to easily do it all at once. And so with our PayPal mass pay feature, you can export a file from within our system and then upload it to PayPal when you go to pay. It's PayPal has what's called mass pay, and it's something that you do have to you request that they set it up for your account. And I think their only requirement is the volume that you do per month, the volume of transactions. I think it's a
Okay.
certain number. It could be like 3,000 to 5,000. I can't remember what it is right now, but if
Mhm.
you're in that threshold, they'll turn it on for your account. And
Cool.
that's how most of our customers pay out their affiliate partners.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and it keeps it, like you said, you're not over there. Oh, I got to pay 25 people, and you're going in there and individually paying them out.
Right, right.
I wanted to ask you, in terms of being African American owners in the tech space, right now, obviously, we're underserved in the tech market, be it with corporate America. In terms of the numbers, you look at some of the numbers of Black folk on Silicon Valley with some of these major tech companies, and it's minuscule.
Yeah.
Have you gotten any pushback from customers or counterparts in the industry for being African American tech company owners?
Great question. When you say pushback, what do you mean? Like a hesitation from customers, or just,
Right. Yeah.
when we're trying to form
Oh, you
relationships?
guys are Black? Oh,
Okay,
that type
right,
of, yeah, that type
right,
of
right.
response.
I To date, not really. I think
Okay.
we've kind of made a more of a shift, I guess you could say, in the space. Because like I said, we founded the business 21 years ago,
Right,
and
right.
so at that time, we didn't really know where it was going to go.
Mhm.
When we started the business, we kind of took a back seat from putting ourselves out there because,
Right,
we didn't know was that going to be a hindrance.
right,
At this point, we're out there as far as our social media. Both me and my business partners have our own sites. We don't, hide from the fact that,
right.
we're the owners of the company or the founders of the company. And so from the point on in that we put ourselves out there, I haven't really seen any direct pushback per se,
Mhm.
because I think we're kind of at the time right now where when people are looking for solutions like ours, the
Right,
bottom line that I see is they just want it to work.
right.
I don't know if they necessarily care
Yeah,
if you're blue or green and you're behind the company per se. You don't know what's in people's minds, so I can't
right,
speak to everybody that's approached us and found out we're
right.
African American and then said, nah, I'm not going to deal with them. So it's hard to say, but historically, since we've kind of put ourselves out there, I hadn't had any direct experiences of any direct pushback,
Okay.
any considerable pushback.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I did an episode couple months back called "To Be or Not to Be a
Mhm.
Black-Owned Business." So the
Uh-huh.
question was, do you put yourself up front as a Black-owned business, or are you just in the background and you just happen to be Black and you own and
Right.
run the company? And so now I was
Mhm.
just curious about how you guys navigated that type of question, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you also about your, because you basically have a SaaS company, software as a service company.
Right.
Without getting into your pockets, man, like how many customers, and I know it's going to change each and every month with people dropping off and getting new customers in.
Mhm.
What's on the average? What do you guys, in terms of your customers,
Mhm.
do you guys support each month?
Yeah, no problem. Well, I'll just give you an overall total. Right now, we're basically at about 1,000 customers that we're dealing with right now.
Cool.
That we're of course pushing that upward. This year
Right.
we're definitely doing some big things to grow
Yeah,
that, and if
that's
not
good.
increase that in half, at least even double that. And so that's really where we're at. And as as you mentioned, alluded to, as a SaaS business,
Mhm.
the biggest thing that we're dealing with is the churn rate.
Right. That
For listeners that
attrition.
aren't familiar with that, the churn is basically the rate in which your customers opt out, cancel out,
Right.
versus the amount of customers that you're getting in. And so it's definitely a struggle to deal
Right.
with. And any SaaS business will tell you the same thing, large or small, they're dealing with it
Same
because
here. Yeah.
it's difficult, because you got people signing up. We have a free trial, 15-day free trial. We're the type of SaaS company where we do require the credit card up front. We don't
Right.
charge it, of course, but we require that up front. We make sure it's a valid order. And
Mhm.
people got to have 15 days to play around with it, kick the tires and decide if they want to move forward. And after that, of course, they're going to get charged.
Right.
But when you're dealing in that space where you've got the trial period, you got a lot of time, you got a lot of people that are signing up for a lot of trials and
Right.
kicking the tires, so to speak,
Exactly.
playing around with solutions, seeing if it's going to work. And so when you're in that space, churn is really inevitable. I don't think there's a way to really totally eliminate it,
Right.
because
Yeah.
there's no long-term commitment. People can opt in, opt out at any time.
Right.
But
Now, do you guys have an affiliate program for your software?
we do. Yeah, we
Uh,
definitely have an affiliate program for our
yeah.
software. We've been, trying to really push that for sure. So yeah, we do eat our own dog food. And so
There
anybody
you
that
go.
signs up for our affiliate program, yeah, they can get a 20% ongoing residual commission per our
Gotcha.
monthly fees. Yeah. And,
Because if
to
you
give you
said no, man, I was going to have to stop the interview.
yeah, yeah. We definitely have our own affiliate program. We
There you go.
we 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 do eat our own dog food.
That's what's up, man. I wanted to ask you too, in terms of, I know you've been in business 20 plus years. Um, Things seem to be going well, but I always tell, prospective entrepreneurs that it's not always from 0 to 100. Can you share a time with us in your business where you had a major setback, how you dealt with it, if you were able to deal with it, and what did you learn from that?
Okay, great question. And as you can imagine, being in business for 21 years now, we've
Mhm.
had a lot of setbacks. A lot of setbacks. One particular setback that we had, that where we kind of were in some shaky waters, we didn't know where things were going to go, was when we did the transition from doing the full service web development projects
Mhm.
to just offering our software tools and
Right.
charging a monthly fee for that. When the reason we decided to really make that shift was because, as anyone knows, if you're not really familiar with, what it takes to do a whole life cycle web development project, it's intensive. Yeah, it
Right.
is time intensive, resource intensive, a lot of back and forth between, your business and the clients. And, you're burning a lot of hours, not only with, people that are kind of, I guess you'd say, on the account management side, but your
Right.
developers, everybody involved. You burn a lot of time, hours. And, if you're not getting deals where they're not priced enough, or, you're not at the right price point, I
Mhm.
mean, you can get to points where you're almost paying to do these projects.
Right.
And it's like, we got to the point where we were coming close to doing that, where we were spending so much time, so much back and forth. At the end of the day, we weren't making hardly anything. And so
Right.
it was the early days of the internet. And I think what that was really kind of the reason for a lot of that was a lot of times people didn't really understand what it took to put things out online and to code
Right.
stuff. You know, a lot of times people, you know, they were naive and were like, all right, you know, can you just make this little change, set it up so, you know, add this one field to the form so that I can collect some of this other information. You know, it looks simple from the outside, but, you know, to the layman or somebody that's not tech savvy, they think, you know, you just throw something up, do, you know, type a couple of things and then it's done, but it's not that easy. So we were getting a lot of people to just nickel and dime us, trying to get us to do all types of things for little or no extra money. So we got tired of that. And then so that's why we decided to take a step back, create our own suite of solutions based on what we learned and based on what we saw a need for. But when we did that solution, when we kind of put the brakes on doing the full lifecycle development, you know, as you can imagine, it was a transition, you know, to get those customers, even though, you know, the residual monthly customers, you know, is good over time. Initially, you're not making too much, you know, you're only charging a little bit per month. And if you got a few customers, that's not a lot. That's not a lot to keep the lights on. And so we got to some points where we're like, man, what are we gonna have to do? We were scratching our heads. We were like debating about, well, do we need to jump ship, get another job? And so it was really difficult. I think one of the things that we did was we were open-minded about it and we did what we had to do. And that's what I would encourage people to do. Just because you go one direction doesn't necessarily mean you can't pivot or pivot back. So what we decided to do was, you know, we did have to take on some other projects. There were some other customers that we dealt with before, you know, they wanted some additional work. We said, okay, you know, we knew that we weren't making enough in the, you know, our residual monthly subscription. So we said, you know, we'll step back. We know we wanted to move away from it, but we had to do what we had to do. So we pivoted back and, you know, did that enough till we got to the point where we had enough subscription business where we didn't have to go back that route.
Gotcha. So what would you say is your biggest takeaway from that experience?
I would say my biggest takeaway from that experience is that monthly residual revenue is where it's at. That's the biggest takeaway. That's the biggest takeaway because, you know, for people that aren't familiar with that, is when you're doing the project type work where you're billing, you know, you're charging customers, you know, it can be a sizable amount, but usually what you do is you break it up between, you know, like they pay a deposit initially and then they pay the rest at the end. When you're in that type of space, you're going from project to project, and it's almost from feast to famine because if you don't have a project, there's nothing coming in. You know, you're out there marketing, trying to find customers, but you don't have anything coming in. With the residual revenue, you're charging customers on that monthly basis. So every month you have money coming in on an ongoing basis. And so subscription business is a big thing. And for those business owners that are listening that may have an e-commerce business, think of what you can do to supplement your sales with some type of subscription model, whether it's a course, whether it is, you know, some premium online content that you're creating that's related to your products, to whatever it is. Or maybe it's these days, one of the things that we see a lot of consumer-based e-commerce products is the auto refill subscription charges. So like, you know, if you're getting the cosmetics or whatever, you can set it up so that they charge you monthly and they just send you product on a monthly basis.
Yeah, that's the
biggest takeaway.
That's a good point. So one of the things that I did, since I have all these courses I've created over the years, I created the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Academy, and I was thinking of a way. I'm like, how can I reach more people to help them move from point A to B without breaking their pockets, especially now in this COVID, atmosphere that we're in right now. So that's when I created the subscription model, the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Academy, where for $29 you can go in and access all of the trainings and the courses and things of that nature. Not all of my stuff is behind there because my flagship stuff is standalone, but the majority of my trainings and courses are behind that academy wall. Number one, it allows people not to have to pay $497, $297, whatever, to go and be able to access all of that content And the benefit for me is it gives me a monthly recurring revenue. And so
Right.
that model that you created, and anybody like Arlen said who's listening, if you can create that type of model, then that's really a way to get predictable income, or semi-predictable, because obviously you're going to have people dropping off and then people coming in. So you want to make sure
Right.
that your, what they used to call back in the day, your run rate is at a
Yeah,
positive.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
That's the
so
bottom
that
line.
definitely, bro. Wanted to ask you, man, being in the business for 21 plus years, I know you've seen a lot, done a lot. What's on tap, and where do you see yourself and your company in the next 3 to 5 years?
I see us more as a becoming more of an ultimate resource for businesses that or anyone really that is looking to get information and get informed about affiliate or referral marketing
Mm.
in the in that particular space. Because one of the things that we're doing, not only do of course we sell our product, we have the e-commerce marketing podcast where we of course educate people about e-commerce marketing strategies. We have that. We also are in the works of creating our own online course as well. And so with that, as well as our blog, we have a resource area. We just want to really be kind of known as really the ultimate resource when it comes to all things affiliate and referral marketing.
Now that makes a lot of sense. So basically, you're creating that ecosystem
Correct.
around an affiliate space, and so there's a ton of monetization options
Yep.
uh, with that ecosystem. And one of the things that I found, I was talking to one of my buddies the other day who's getting ready to start a YouTube channel,
Mhm.
and what I explained to him was, he was like, "Man, how'd you create this ecosystem?" And I'm like, "Dude," I said, "it basically created itself." Because once you get in there and start mixing around, your customers and your people will tell you, "Hey, I want to learn more about this. I need access to this. I need to be able to do this." And if you're listening, if you're really listening, you'll be like, "Okay, well, let me start creating. Oh, I'm going to write a book, and this is going to, help solve this problem. I'll create a course. I'll create a newsletter. I'll create this, really to help your people in your community." And
Mhm.
then before you know it, you look up, you're like, "Man, I got a little mini ecosystem right here." And the
Yeah.
beauty of that is that it all is synergistic. It feeds
Mhm.
off of itself. And so for any of the BEB family members that are listening right now, don't sleep on creating an ecosystem, just like Arlen is doing with his podcast, with the content that he's creating about affiliate marketing, because that's a resource that people can tap into. And within that resource, there are different, places on that wheel that they can go, or you can go, to get specific information or resources that you need. So don't
Mhm.
sleep on building an ecosystem around your business, and don't worry about, trying to figure it out all at once, because what happens is when you start putting things out into the universe, you're going to get feedback, and then that's going to help direct you of what you need to put out. Don't just put out or create a big ecosystem without any feedback, because you could be wasting your time.
Yeah.
I don't put out a course until I get enough people saying, "Hey, how can I do this?" All right, well, let me create a course. So I'm not going
Okay.
to put the course out with and then say, "Guess what? Anybody want to learn how to do this?"
Mhm. Right. Right.
And people say no, and I just wasted months putting together an online program. So I want to give people a little tip too. So when you're creating your ecosystem, a lot of times what I will do before I create a course is I'll do a live training, and I'll take that live training and I'll use that as a beta. Who wants to learn about, like I just did one on $1 million newsletter, how to create a digital newsletter to help expand your ecosystem. And so I did a live training, and now within that group I can get feedback. I can find out what they want to know, what they don't need to know, what are the best practices, and then that in itself can be the foundation for another digital product. And so a
Mhm.
lot of times when you build your ecosystem, you're almost getting paid to actually create a new product. Okay, so that's something, that's a tip. That's, as my boy from Philly would say, $1 million worth of game just got
Right.
right there. So you can get paid
Definitely.
to find out what people want, Because here's the deal. When I ran that $1 million newsletter live training, if nobody signed up, guess what it tells me? Nobody's interested.
Is interested. Yeah. Yeah.
No need to waste my money, waste my time. But people signed up, and I had to actually stop people from signing up because I can't do too many one-on-ones after the initial training. So the word basically is building an ecosystem, using and leveraging technology like Arlen has to increase your ecosystem by affiliate sales and things of that nature. So this technology that my brother has out here is no joke, So and it's funny, before I knew who Arlen was, I had been looking at his software for years, and I'm like, and then we finally like, I don't know how long ago, like it was a couple of years ago, we kind of
it was a couple of years ago,
like,
we met up.
And but when we reconnected, I'm like, look, man, this is a great topic for the BEB family. It's something that's very topical right now. It teaches people how to leverage what they do have. And a lot of times, like you said, bro, word of mouth. And you talked about a mic, right? And the mic that you had as an example, and a true life example, literally last night, my buddy who's starting this YouTube channel, he said, man, what microphone do you use? And I told him, I'm like, I use, I'll give him a plug, the Blue Yeti. That's what I use, right? And so he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and get that. What software do you record? And so to your point, bro, that's great advice right there. We're going to close it up in a few, man, but I wanted to find out, or let the BEB family know how they can get in contact with you and where they can demo your software.
Okay, awesome. And thank you for that. I appreciate it. So to get in touch with me, actually, the easiest way to get in touch with me and access all of my social handles is actually going to my website, arlenrobinson.com. That's ARLEN Robinson.com, and I know you'll have that in the show notes, so you can get to all of my social handles from there. Connect with me there. There's even a contact page on that site. Now, as far as our software is concerned, we've got a special deal, actually a special offering for all the BEB listeners. So if you're looking to try out our software, you think it'll work for your business, got a great 20% discount. This is an ongoing discount across all of our plans. You can just go to getosi.com/BEB, and that'll take you to the pricing page. You'll see it'll automatically be discounted by 20% across all plans. So I think it's a great opportunity, a great deal there to get a discount on any of our products. And so I definitely encourage people to try it out. Like I said, you do, regardless of what you do get the 15-day free trial. And if you need help, we do have a customer success team that does daily meetings, online meetings with our customers that request it, so they can walk you through setting it up, holding your hand through that process. We even do free integration into your website. So kind of have nothing to lose, really. That was what I always tell people, to try it out, during that period and see if it's something that will work for your business.
Appreciate that, man. Before we close it on out, is there anything that I neglected to ask you that you wanted to get out in this interview? Sometime I get on a tangent, man, and it may be something that you wanted to interject that you didn't get an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Lastly, one of the things that I want to interject, because we talked a little bit about, when I define referral marketing and affiliate marketing, and I think these days influencers are really kind of the affiliates of today. I think it's just a term that was coined when this whole kind of celebrity reality TV culture just exploded. The whole term influencer became, popular. But when people think about that, because I know business owners are like, wow, it would be really great to get, a high-powered influencer, to promote my brand. And I was thinking about you, Jay, actually, when I thought about it, because you recently had Killer Mike on your podcast. You interviewed Killer Mike, and I know you also have a brand where you're, you have a particular consumer, a hot sauce, barbecue sauce brand. Is that correct?
Hot sauce. Yep. Yeah.
Hot sauce brand. And you were like, I'm sure, anybody would be like, wow, if Killer Mike promoted my brand, it would be unbelievable. He has a lot of reach, and that would be awesome. And so people are always, when you're thinking about snagging an influencer, everybody's thinking about that big fish, the Killer Mike, the Kylie Jenner, the Kim Kardashian. They're thinking about all those influences that are really totally out of scope, or out of reach really for an average business, because if you don't have several thousands of dollars to pay them to just do a simple Instagram post, then you're out of the picture. So what I want to stress is that influencers there's all types of levels. And we've looking to get an influencer, you can start at just the local influencer level. When I say local influencer level, that's somebody that's maybe just in your space. Maybe they only have a few thousand followers across, various platforms, but they can promote too. And the thing is, they have an audience, and, the audience that they have is an audience where there actually is a tighter relationship that those smaller local influencers have than some of the big fishes, because those smaller people, there's a lot more engagement that they have with their followers and people that are in their whole kind of ecosystem, because they're going to be a lot more exchanges. It's a smaller group, and those tight-knit relationships are typically in a way a lot stronger, because those people that are in their group will trust them a lot more. And so I would say, don't discount those smaller ones. You don't have to try to snag the Killer Mikes of the world or the big fishes, anybody like that. Start at the smaller local influencer level. Look at the people that are currently following you, that are your friends on any of your social platforms. Check them out, see what they're doing, and shoot your pitch. So if you do launch an affiliate program, start off by saying, yeah, I can offer you this, if you promote, and see where that goes. But definitely don't discount all of those people on the local level that may have smaller network or smaller audience.
That's great advice. Yeah, the micro, as they call micro influencers. And
Correct.
I don't know what that number is. The demarcation point is under 5,000, whatever. I don't know, but
roughly a little bit under 5,000 is a micro influencer. Correct.
Yeah. So last question before we close it out, bro. If you could sit down and have a conversation with one person, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Wow. Actually, good question. But for me, I would say, easy question. I would just say Jesus Christ would be the person that I would want to sit down with, because,
a lot of questions, right?
Yeah, definitely a lot of questions. And, to see the journey, if you're somebody in the spiritual Christian arena and you're familiar with, the birth of Jesus, and then everything that he went through to really become, at this point, an enlightened, spiritual master. I would have a ton of questions, to figure out what the layman can really do to, follow that path.
Yeah, that's a common answer that I get to that question. But yeah, I'll be right with you there. You can get the answers to everything,
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, Brother Arlen, I want to thank you so much, man, for sharing your time and your expertise and your experience to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family, man. Thank you so much. I know the family's going to love this episode. As once again, I always get asked about affiliate marketing. So now we have one of the gurus of affiliate marketing right here on the BEB platform, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
No problem, Jay. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I was glad to be able to come on and hopefully add some value to the whole BEB family.
Most definitely, brother. Thanks, man. That was an amazing interview with my brother Arlen Robinson from OmniStar Affiliate Software. So if you're interested in creating an affiliate program for your products and or services, make sure that you go to getosi.com/BEB and save 20% off of the software. getosi.com/BEB. Before I give you my takeaways, guys, I just want to share all of my social media contact information and resource links. Now, the easiest place to go is bebconnect.com, bebconnect.com. That's going to give you a link to all of my social media handles and all of my resource links. I can't wait until this new website is up within the next couple of weeks, because all I'm going to tell you is to go to BEB Connect, and the new site is actually going to take you on a personal tour or journey to the resources that you need. But starting off, guys, I mentioned at the top of the show, my new book is out, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. You can go to anewblackwallstreet.com. Pick yourself up a copy, $14.95 for print, $9.95 for the digital version. If you need additional assistance building your successful, sustainable e-commerce business, my new flagship program is out, Brand Builder Academy Elite. You can go to bbaelite.com. Use the code BBAElite100 and save $100 off the program. An implementation program that's a 15-week program that takes you from A to Z, from product or service ideation all the way to selling your product or service on all the major platforms and creating your own sites to sell. Now, I also mentioned at the top of the show, family, my two platforms I've created to help circulate dollars in the worldwide black economy. BeSmartByBlack.com is the first one. So if you are a black product producer and you want to sell your products to black consumers worldwide, upload your product information to BeSmartByBlack.com. It is free, and you can connect with black consumers worldwide. Now, for all of you freelancers, if you do anything on Fiverr.com, Freelancer.com, Upwork, or any of those type of places, I didn't forget about you. Now, just go to hireblackfreelancers.com, HIRE, blackfreelancers.com, and upload your information. Once again, it is free. You can connect with black consumers and black business owners that want to hire black freelancers. Also, I mentioned, guys, at the top of the show, my new rebranded, rebooted Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Academy that has all of my online courses, webinars, trainings, and masterclasses. And you can get 5 days free access. Just go to bebacademy.com, bebacademy.com. Now, also, to connect with me, anything long, hit me on my email. That's jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES at blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Twitter, jjones001. Instagram, jjonesforreal, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Also, my second IG handle is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. YouTube, please go and subscribe to the YouTube channel, family. Just go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, hit the subscribe button. I have additional content on YouTube that does not come out on the show. And yes, the show comes out every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and all your major podcast platforms. LinkedIn, connect with me, Jay Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Also for Clubhouse, if you're on Clubhouse, link up with me at I am Jay Jones, at I am Jay Jones. Once again, family, all of this can be found at bebconnect.com, which is a page on my website and has all the links I just gave you. Whew. All right. Like I said, guys, once this new site is out, we're going to be ready to rock. And all you're going to have to do is go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com or bebconnect.com. Now, let me give some takeaways on today's episode with my brother Arlen Robinson from OmniStar Affiliate Software. So one of the things that stood out to me was the way that he transitioned from employee to entrepreneur. That in and of itself can be the difference between being successful as an entrepreneur and failing as an entrepreneur. And so what he did was he waited until he got a good contract that enabled him to go out on his own while he had his current job. So if your current job is paying all your bills and you have the intestinal fortitude and the stick-to-itiveness to start your business part-time, but then be able to smoothly transition into full-time by either saving up money or getting a contract that allows that transition where you're not out there and you may end up, failing or jumping back into the workforce. Trust me, I did that before. Okay. So that really stuck out to me. Another thing that stuck out to me was that this didn't come on the air, but we talked about how few SaaS companies are black owned that are out there to the level that Arlen's company is. And so, the tech space right now, there's a big push for blacks in the tech space, and we got to definitely continue to support those companies and those enterprises that are out there that are in tech. So make sure if you're looking for an affiliate program, make sure you check out my brother Arlen. Once again, go to getosi.com/BEB. Also, the last thing I wanted to talk about was he talked about pivoting. So sometimes when we start businesses, we have a direction, we have a game plan, but sometimes those game plans don't work out as we see fit. So he had to pivot, take on a couple of jobs in order to get that cash flow up to be able to go to the original plan. So taking one step back to go 2 steps forward. So sometimes we have to be flexible enough to be able to pivot so we can get to our objective or our goal, which is to be a successful entrepreneur. All right, family, make sure you guys support my brother if you're looking for affiliate marketing. And I say this each and every week, but please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the blog, the whole ecosystem of Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. We're here to build an economic power base in the worldwide black community. And the only way we can do that, family, is by building and supporting black-owned businesses. So please make a conscious effort to support black-owned businesses. Go out of your way if you have to spend your dollars with black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.